Now you want, okay, 5 minutes on that instead of both talking for an hour on the same subject.
Right.
Yeah, because Louise has been through my trainings already twice. Right?
Uh-huh.
No, every so often.
Louise
throw a
might
new
be
one
able
out.
to do your trainings.
She could. She easily. She could teach a class.
Yeah,
And
I'm not a speaker like him though.
Yeah.
I think you might. I think you might have it in you. So today, I've got a couple that I really wanted to do, and they're mostly mindset stuff. Like this is higher level, like mind stuff. It's not so much skill set, because I could teach you guys skill set all day, but what you already know it. You know what you're supposed to do. You know the activities. The problem is getting motivated or setting the time schedule or just getting it so that it happens. Because even though you know you're supposed to do a certain thing, for whatever reason, the whole day went by, all 24 hours, and not a one of those things got done.
Yeah.
It's like,
That happens.
how did all these 24 hours, tons and tons of minutes go by, and I like didn't even pick up the phone once, and I knew that I had to do it.
Yeah.
Even wrote down I was going to call 10 people today. Or I wrote down I was going to text 10 people today.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily a skill set that I need to teach, right? Louise can network with anybody. You were a congregational leader. You can network with anybody. You can talk to anybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not the issue. The issue is the mindset. You know?
It is.
And it's just a matter of preparing the mind and getting it set so you have a mindset for success. I assure you the time will pass regardless of whether you do the right things or the wrong things. I assure you we're all heading towards the same end of the tunnel where the moon comes up and then it goes back down and the sun comes back up. Every single day it does the same thing consistently, right? God makes no mistakes. He gave us 24 hours every day. The difference is what we do in those 24 hours, and the difference of what we do in those 24 hours is set with our mindset, which creates the habits, which creates the residual income from everything that we do afterwards, right? So we're going to talk about mindset. Is that okay? Everybody agrees it's maybe a valuable topic?
Yeah.
Ironically, when I speak mindset, new agents are like, yeah, no, I want the good stuff. Give me the skill set. But you guys are like, yeah, no, let's do that one. Because I know what to do. I just have to now know how to do it, how to get me there doing it, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so the first one we're going to talk about is the law of detachment, right? So the law of detachment, has anybody heard of the law of detachment?
I'm not sure.
Oh, excellent. So we all heard of the law of attraction.
Yeah.
Right? What we think about expands, what we think about we bring about. So how we do anything is how we do everything. So if we don't know the other side of the law of attachment, law of attraction, which is the law of detachment, you're missing the whole important piece, right? So you can want something very badly. You can desire abundance. You can desire moving to Florida with your kids and being able to go to California and spend that time there and spend that time here and have the money just coming in, right? You can desire it. And yes, you will attract it, but it will not come to you until you've let go of it, right? So the law of detachment is because you've wanted something so bad, but you want it so bad that you held it so tight that you actually couldn't let go of what you had to get the next big thing, right? You have to learn to let go of the things that are holding you back. And that's what the law of detachment is all about. So one example, perfect example of detaching yourself from a situation. Has anybody had the fear of committing to somebody or maybe engaging in a conversation? You get into a room, I know you're both very good at this, maybe you get into a room and it's, I don't know who I want to talk to yet, I don't know what they're going to think of me, maybe they don't want real estate, maybe they don't like who I am, maybe just the way I dress today is turning them off, and maybe they think I'm better than them. They're probably right, but right? These thoughts go through your heads. There are those days. So you've had that. When you let go of that, when you detach yourself from the outcome, from whatever they're going to do, you just completely detach yourself from the outcome, and it's like, well, maybe they work with me, maybe they like me, maybe they don't. Doesn't matter anymore. Then you move forward with this confidence, this comfort of, I'm going to get whatever I want. Because you no longer care about the outcome. You no longer care whether it's going to work or not. You have to detach yourself from the outcome. And when you're 100% detached, the law of detachment allows you to get whatever you want. You ever had a relationship, maybe you have children, right? You've got children. Maybe you just wanted them so bad to do the right things. You wanted it so bad. You held on to that concept so tightly for them. It's not until you let go and kind of let them do their own thing and you, like in a passive way, say, yeah, this is how it's done, this is what it is, you do or don't, right? They learn better that way than when you're like, you've got to do it this way, this is the right way to do things, let's make sure it's happening this way. And the law of detachment is, yeah, well, Let it be. It is what it is. And when you remove yourself from the outcome tends to come to you, right? You tend to have more influence. You tend to be able to affect somebody. Well, it's the same thing in your business, right? You know you're supposed to make those calls. They're so important. You want to make the calls. You want to make sure you get it done. When you think about it, it's so intense. It's like I'm attracting it to myself. I'm going to bring the business. When you say, look, I'm going to make the calls one way or the other way. It doesn't matter if I do it or not. They're not that important. I'm just going to schedule my calendar and I'm going to do it. It doesn't matter if somebody likes me or not. It doesn't matter if I do the calls or not. I'm just going to do it because I know it's something that I desire to do, not that I have to do. When you detach yourself from the outcome, when you say, it doesn't matter either way if I make the calls or not, but I'm going to make them because I know it's the right thing to do. I'm going to do them not because it's good for my business, just because I want to see what happens, right? I don't care if they want to work with me or not. I don't care if they like me or not. I don't care if they're happy to see me or not. I don't care if there's a big long-term commitment on the other end, because I know that's one of the things too. You guys are concerned about the emotional commitment on the other end of it. Detach yourself from it. Look, you don't have to give it to them. I'm not giving them that long-term commitment. I'm just going to have a nice, simple conversation, ask them for referrals, and detach yourself from the outcome. If they say, let's keep talking in their head, and you're like, nah, 2 minutes is good. Hey, I got another call online. I'll call you back. And then you call them back a month later, right? It doesn't have to be later today. You call them back a month later. Hey, I got to let you go. It was great talking to you. By the way, if you know anybody looking to buy or sell a house, send them my way. But yeah, I got to let you go. Yep, thank you. Yep, absolutely. I'll talk to you soon. Just get off the phone. Detach yourself from the outcome. They don't care. They really... The biggest problem with people in life and success is we worry so much about what other people think. Detach yourself from the outcome. Most people are not thinking about you, right? I'm thinking about you right now. And even now, after I go into the next room, I love you guys, right? I'm on to the next conversation, next person, next people I have to think about. Whereas you may still be thinking about you. You're going to be thinking about you all day. So we have this belief system that everybody else is thinking about you all day, right? But they're not. They're in their own world. Like that phone call, they're thinking about you for the second. They've already started forgetting you 14 minutes later. Literally 14 minutes later, they started forgetting you. In real estate, when you do a transaction, Louise, you've done plenty, Jerry, you've done plenty. When you do a transaction in real estate, 14 days later, they've begun forgetting you, right? Like 14 days later, so you've got to detach yourself. Detach yourself 100% from the outcome. Detach yourself from the activity. Detach yourself from how it turns out. If you say there's a fear there, just detach yourself from the fear. And the way to do it, this is the secret, all right? Every one of these principles, fortunately, has a strategy and a principle behind them. Write down the what ifs and a pros and cons. I wouldn't do this on specific situations, like, well, what about that call with my sister? I would do it, what about that call in general with people like my sister? This way, now you have a whole category of people instead of just one person, if that makes sense. So you say, what are the pros of making that call or that situation or sending that text or asking for that business, whatever, the three things we know we're supposed to do: contact, ask for, and then provide service. What are the pros to it? Oh, well, $, yes. She'll be happy with me, relationship pluses, and because you're smiling more, your health goes up, right? Because you're now able to pay for a better gym membership, those protein shakes, all the healthy vegan diets, and your love and relationships. Somebody's probably going to the gym with you, motivating you to keep going, and your health, by lifting the other two up, your health increases, right? It just is what it is. So we know there's a lot of pros behind making that action, right? What are the cons? Oh, she might talk to me. Okay. For some people, that can be a problem, right? We just don't want to deal with that person. Or they might ask me for more than I want to do. Or they might not like me. They might not be happy. So again, right here, not heart, right? So it's negative heart there. So these are the fears that we have. Both sides of these are going to be there. It may stress me out, which hurts my health, right? So that's negative plus side. And the money, it may cost me time, right? It may cost time. And so that's negative $. So you get both sides. That's really the basics of how I break down any decision is how is it going to affect me financially, how is it going to affect me relationship-wise, and how is it going to affect me in my health. And if it causes me stress, well, yeah, there's a problem. When I detach myself from the situation, I can't be stressed because I don't care. It's just a call. When I detach myself from their emotions, I no longer care. It's just, look, all I'm going to get is this, or negative, this or neutral, because I've detached myself from the negative outcome, right? And when it comes to the cost of time, well, I'm going to make it very efficient. I'm going to jump in, I'm going to jump out. I can make 10 calls in 10 minutes. I can make 10 texts in 2 minutes, right? It takes me no time. Whether or not I respond to them right away is up to me, right? You guys have all had a response back from me at some point, maybe 30 minutes, an hour later, right? In some cases, maybe even the next day, right? If you text me at 8 o'clock at night, sometimes I respond, sometimes I don't. It's, am I ready to do that? Am I even looking at my phone, right? You must detach yourself from the outcome. If you detach from the outcome, you will do the activity. We're not talking about, 10 calls, right? We all know 10 calls a day keeps the broke collectors away, the bill collectors away. 10 calls a day, every day, you'll be closing listings every single week. Not a question. Has anybody here done 70 calls in a week? And we've been in the business for a combined, 20 years. Yes.
That one day that I did it, I did like...
That one day on Mojo, you definitely did over 100 calls. Yes. And actually, even with you not using Mojo, you were crushing it.
That's right, I didn't use Mojo.
That's right. So there are people who can do those types of calls. But now the relationships that they're building with those calls, how consistent is it? Did you do it for a week straight? You did it for a day just to test the system out, right? Most agents do the same thing. They go, they pound the phones for a day, they're like, made my 10 calls, crushing it, hashtag 2019 New Year's resolutions, right? And then the next day, they go to the gym, they don't do the calls, but they hit the gym, so they're like, crushing it, Facebook post. And then they go and they celebrate a birthday or something with their family member. So 3 days in a row, they've done 3 positive things, but they did not do those positive things every single day. They just didn't fit it into the schedule, right? Gym's an hour, maybe 2 hours. You're crazy, right? Think about lead time. Put your clothes on, pick your clothes off, shower, all that stuff, right? Gym's 2 hours of the day. You've got your relationships with your family. Could be as small as a 10-minute conversation, could be as long as 2 hours that night. You've stopped by their house and you visit, right? Give them 4 hours, who cares, right? There's 6 hours taken out already. We know you're getting 8 hours of sleep, right? That's already committed, that's cut out. What about the, what's the other one I have there? We've got health. How much time are we going to dedicate to money, right? We got the whole rest of the day. We got 10 hours left, right? Dude, spend 2 hours in the gym. 2 hours in the gym, right? Just commit that time. Screw it. 2 hours, I've got that time. And then family, 4 hours, for sure. Never going to stop me. Always 4 hours of family, right? That still gives us 10 hours to work. 10 hours to make money. I mean, there's literally to fill yourself emotionally, right? Like with love of your family, to fill your body with oxygen and food and take care of yourself. We've still got 10 hours to go and do something, and we won't do something that takes us 10 minutes, 30 minutes, right? Detach yourself from the outcome. Another one is do the math. Do the math. We spend 2 hours here. Health. Yeah, 2 hours there, 4 hours there. What are we doing in those 10 hours? We fool ourselves. We say, I'm spending time with family. We fool ourselves. We say, I'm working. I'm doing the real estate thing. We fool ourselves and say, I'm too busy to go to the gym. I don't have that time. And then we're like, I never get any sleep. I never get my full 8 hours of sleep. You guys are crazy. What are we getting? We put ourselves in a 6 hours of sleep? Well, then that means we got 2 more hours for this, right? I don't believe in that. I sleep a lot. I do. Anybody on the team who's really known me, yes, I have an erratic schedule because my life is erratic. I decide, okay, I'm going to build this today, and I don't sleep until I've built it, and I just do. And I decide I'm going to eat when I finish my job. So I'll go 12, 14, 15 hours without eating, right? It doesn't bother me because it's so important what we're doing, right? This machine we're building, this support to the community, to the world, right? You guys have things that are so big inside you, like things you want to do that are huge. Detach yourself from the outcome and you can do them. Right? Just detach it. Like, you're already attracting. You're powerful manifestors, right? You have the ability to bring it into your life. It's just you gotta not worry about whether it happens or not. Right? Moving to anywhere in the world is possible. I learned by detaching myself from the outcome, by saying, look, if the office survives while I'm gone, I'll figure it out. Right? Whether or not the guys fall apart or not. I got out there, I didn't know how to use Zoom. Didn't know how to use Zoom channels, didn't know how to like do remote meetings. We figured it out, right? As a team, you know? Ron set up the laptop, I was up here on the screen, and I was committed. I was committed to making this work. But I had to detach myself from, look, what if it falls apart? I'll rebuild it. Like, you just put it out there. You get the pros and your cons. My biggest reason that I did that test, and I encourage both of you to say, how do I get everything that I want? How do I live in Florida? How do I live here? How do I go to Cali? How do I afford all this life that I want? How do I cap out, right? Just how much would it cost you if you didn't, right? How much life do you have left to live? You know, I look at that every day. I'm 32 and I look at that every day because I want big things, right? It's changing the world is a big play. Might take a decade. Might take 2. Might take a century. Somebody else will have to carry on. So I don't have the time, right? And that's how I look at it. And you guys have to look at it that way too. You don't have the time to try this crap anymore. And I don't want to use words that are vulgar. I do love using words that are vulgar, but in this audience, I would say you don't have the time to waste on this stuff that's not serving you, right? And that brings me to the next topic, which is how does this serve me, right? So look at everything in your life. Look at we know we have 10 plus hours, and I'm not even going to commit you guys to that. Literally, I think lead gen could be 2 hours. I think you spend 2 hours lead gen, and you can spend 2 hours doing whatever floats your boat. You know, do your lead gen, jump in the pool, right? Like that to me is absolute reality. If you just do 2 hours a day of lead gen, you'll make more than you've ever made before. We know that's true. I mean, really, like just 2 hours of lead gen, you make more than you've ever made. So ask yourself this question. Let me, yes, actually, maybe I'll leave this up here for a little bit longer because we may need those numbers in a little bit. Just to go back to every so often. How does this serve me? I've talked about this a lot. You guys know what the most important subject for everybody in the world is, right? It's yourself. If you're not putting yourself first, you're lying, right? If you say like, oh, I put other people first, maybe because it makes you feel good, right? Maybe it's because you feel good about doing it, right? How does it serve you? We're servants, right? Some of us are servants of God. Some of us are servants of other people. Some of us are servants of ourselves, right? But we serve, right? Well, how does everything serve you? And we're talking about mindset today. How do my thoughts serve me? How do your thoughts serve you? Do they empower you? Or do they bring you down? Right? Do they make you feel good? Or do they make you hurt? Like, how does this thought serve me? And perfect example, how does it serve me if I don't make the calls? Right? If I don't go on Facebook, make that one video a week where I tell them about the great things that are happening in the real estate market, how does it serve me if I don't do it? Right? Because I'll be honest, I know that everybody in the world right now knows that Facebook is probably a great idea, right? And video is what Facebook wants, so well, just like with our clients, give them what they want. Serve Facebook a video once a week. Throw it out there, just give them that content. Right now we're recording because I don't know what the next channel is, but I know that video will probably still be there, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, or whatever's coming out next. So record now, record everything you do, right? You're working with a client, you come up with some great nuggets, you give them some awesome advice, pull up that phone, say, hey, I just thought of this, I was talking to my client, and this was the question they had, this is how I answered it, hope that helps you guys, have a great day. Hang up the phone, put it on Facebook, forget about it, do not review the video, that's a death trap, right? Because then you'll spend 30 minutes on it, and let's be real, we've only got 24 hours in a day. You're already wasting the other ones. So we already know you're not spending those hours wisely, so let's save those 30 minutes. So ask yourself, how does it serve me if I don't post a video? Because a lot of us will work from a place of pain as opposed to a place of gain. So there's the scale in life. You got pain and you got gain. And this is the decision scale. And everybody can think of how they've operated in life coming from a place of pain. Saying, oh man, this is a bad situation, let's get out of here. But without knowing where you want to go, sometimes you end up on the other side of the stove. And it's hot here too. Well, that didn't work. Right? So you've got to have the goal and you've got to have the pain, right? It's even better having a massive goal and a massive vision because it pulls you forward and you stay away from pain. And I can talk about it all day, but even myself, I find that I am absolutely motivated by pain more often than by the gain. And so I really make sure I spend time with clarity, with meditation and prayer, trying to get to where do I want to go, where do I want to be. But I usually forget that until there's some sort of pain that reminds me, oh, well, this isn't good. We got to go somewhere else. So think about it. What is that thing that you could be doing? How does it serve you? If you do it, how does it serve you if you don't? Going back to mindset, just our emotions. Right? Has anybody had an experience where you've definitely done this with me, right? So you visualize in your head a very good experience, right? You don't have to close your eyes, it helps, but honestly, you can do this. You can do this with anybody, you can do this with your clients, right? This is a little NLP trick. Visualize, remember a really good experience you had. Think back to wherever it is, a good experience. You have it in your head. You have something that was really fun, it was really good, made you feel positive, made you feel great, right? Now this is a lever right here. So it goes up and it goes down, right? Just like a dimmer switch in a house. So think of that good positive energy, and as I raise it up, you can feel the energy rise. And as I bring it down, you can feel the energy kind of like dissipating, going to like a negative space. It kind of hurts and it kind of bothers me. We're not going to do that for very long. We'll bring it right back to normal, right? That's much better. You're welcome. I understand. And you can raise it up. And the more our mind thinks about this, the more that works, right? Isn't that crazy? You raise it, you're like, yeah, I remember that experience. Just the feeling, not even the actual experience, just that crazy, like, good experience. You bring it down, you bring it all the way down. I don't want to do that, so we'll come back up to normal and we leave it somewhere high. We just lock it off there and it stays in a high state for you guys, right? That is what we can do with our minds. I just did that with words. A little visual cue in words, and your mind switched and you had this range of emotions, right? Well, we can do that any day. Say we're in a bad mood. Say our clients are in a bad mood, right? We'll just play the game with them. Yeah, you know what? That experience. Remember that experience. Yeah, you're right. That person was pretty rough. Let's take that person, and there's a visual cues. Let's take that person and that thought, and let's put it into a little ball over here. And just for this conversation, let's throw it out there in the woods somewhere, right? And I want to talk to you, the real you, who's a happy, positive person making clear decisions, who knows exactly what they want. This is mindset, right? You can do it for yourself too. We just played with that, right? Tony Robbins has this thing he does where he says smile. Like smile and try to think a nasty thought. Like smile and try to be mad at somebody. Yeah. Not possible. And smiles are infectious. Like it just happens, right? So how does this thought serve me? How does this emotion serve me? Or if you're in a negative space, you also can't think positive thoughts. If you're thinking negatively, you cannot make that phone call. If you're thinking negatively, you know the day is shot. Unless it's not. Unless you decide, well, nope, that moment was shot, recognized it, let's change my state, and now I'm going to go do something more positive and just live a better life. And I'm probably going to go make a Facebook video just talking about what I just experienced, right? Oh wow, I just changed my state and just let you guys know, hey, when you're having a bad day, think about this. This helped me. I was thinking about my grandkids, how happy they are. It just pulled me into a better space. And it just reminded me I'm so thankful and blessed to be able to work with real estate. I love you guys. You know. See you guys out there. You turn the video off, right? Little stuff like that. Any experience ever can be a video. We know people on Facebook, I'm not encouraging this, who go into the shower and they're like, taking a shower. That was an experience and there's a post. Now, are there quality posts that evoke emotion and make people say, oh, let's do more of those, right? Let's do the post that, hey, this person's in real estate. They're killing it. They're crushing it. They're helping people. Common knowledge. Give them information. Give them stuff you guys know. But it's just a thought. I know I'm supposed to do a video every day, right? You just know it. I know I'm supposed to post every day. So 12 o'clock, my phone goes off, make a post, boom, I gotta go do it. It's just a requirement, right? So that habit serves me well. That habit has served me exceedingly well. I can walk into any business, any place in Fall River, I can walk into anywhere, basically in Bristol County, and I'm acknowledged and recognized, especially in the real estate industry. People I've never done deals with, they know who I am because I take the time to make posts every single day, just consistently. You guys can do that. You have the same technology as me. We don't have fancier phones. There's no like extra tech here. It's literally just camera, post, a little comment, and that's what's created it, right? It's all about how does it serve me? Oh, that's going to serve me well in the long run. I'm going to make it a habit. If it serves you well, make it a habit. If it serves you negatively, make it a habit to remove it, right? Just cut it out of there. So one of the tips that you can do for how does it serve me is just know that negative emotions are a sign that something is wrong in your life, right? A negative emotion, a negative thought, a negative feeling, somebody's bothering you. Maybe it's not that person. Maybe it's the thought you're having at the moment. You change the thought or the way you feel about it. Again, going back to the law of detachment, detach yourself from the emotional situation, and then you decide. Is it a pro? Is it a con? Maybe in the moment. Maybe in the moment you can't come up to this, right? Maybe in the moment you flare it up, or you're depressed, or you're stressed. You can't do it in the moment. Just make a note in your phone, I gotta do this later. Right? Just write it down, hey, so that next time, because, yeah. We know.
I need that reminder.
Yeah, we know at some point somebody's gonna say something to us, and it's gonna be the same situation, and we don't wanna have the same response. We don't wanna go there. We wanna go to a place of confidence, a place of happiness, of, oh, I know exactly how to respond to this. I should have responded to this last time, but I'm not going to live back there. I'm going to respond to it this way. And that's all this is. That's all this sales game is. When somebody gives us a rebuttal, or they give us, what do we call them? I can never think of this word. But objections. When they give us objections. We have responses, right? The agents who practice their responses get the listings. Because it's just a canned response. Oh, well, I want to price my house this high. Well, no, it just doesn't make sense. I understand, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, that you would want to price it this high, but in reality, this is what the market will absorb it at, and if we price it here, it's going to absorb it faster. And it's going to absorb it probably higher, but if we price it here, nobody's going to see it. We don't want your house not seen, right? That would be dangerous. The enemy in real estate is obscurity, the fact that nobody knows your house is for sale, hence you hiring a marketing professional, right? Hence you're hiring a real estate agent, someone who's networked and knows the buyers and has the conversations with them. Well, they're not going to even look at it if I don't price it right. Remember going to Walmart? If Walmart had the bottle of water for $2.99 and Target had it for $5, you'd be like, well, I'm just going to take the trip over to Walmart. Even though I don't even like the lines there, I don't like the way people talk to me there, but I'm going there because I'm saving $2. Do you think they do it in real estate when they're saving $20,000? You know, do the math, right? People, they're not even going to look at that house. You know. It is what it is. So having your objections in the back of your head, being able to, boom, canned responses, I know what it is, I know what it is. It's the same exact thing, right? How does this thought serve me? Am I practicing when I'm in a pain position? Am I practicing how to get out of it quicker? Right? When something bothers me, what's the reaction I can take to get into something better, a better state quicker? And then from that point, what decisions am I making? Right? We've got our responses, we know what they are. But we sharpen them, we practice them, we're always, you know, what if they said this, what if they said that? We're bouncing ideas back across the table all the time, saying, okay, this is a better way to respond. Hey, I said this the other day and it totally worked, and I think I'm going to change how I say it every single time. Right? From now on, the only response I'll ever say to a seller when they ask me this, it's coming out this way. You know, when people ask me, do you lower your price on commissions? I say, well, do you ask your boss to lower your salary? Has your boss ever asked you to lower your salary? Hourly? Well, it's the same thing. But why would I? I wouldn't do that to you. You know, I wouldn't ask your boss to lower your salary. It just makes sense. Worth it, worth, right? You think going to work every day, getting paid your salary wage is worth it, right? I agree. I 100% agree with you. I think you're valuable. What do you think of me? What do you think of the service of selling the most valuable asset you have and making sure you get the right price and that you don't get taken advantage of, and you get to go to your right home without losing the house in between all of that. It's a little complicated. I'm just thankful. I think that I can handle it for you. So let's not give me a reason to stress out, right? So, ask the question, how does it serve me? If it gives you a positive feeling, if it makes your business move forward, if it makes your family better, if it makes your health better, do it. If it serves that purpose, do it. If it does not serve that purpose, run it here, find out how to get rid of it, remove it. Create a habit, create a philosophy, create an automatic response, create an accountability partner if that's what it takes. Create an external source, an external system that will make sure that you fall in line, right? When I'm going to do something big, I hold my team as responsible as my accountability partners. When I'm going to do something big, I say, guys, I'm going to do this. I can't fail now because I'll look bad in front of my team. So I have used these systems because I know without you guys I won't work. Without you guys I don't need to do more, right? It has to come from a place of I'm serving, right? And from that place, well, now I look like a dummy if I didn't do what I said I was going to do, right? Use those tools. They're terrifying. Trust me. Trust me, they're terrifying, right? But it works. And you can do it. You can do it with your spouse, you can do it with your grandkids, with your children, with your friends, with your colleagues. It's just something you do, right? Whatever works. So that was, that's one of probably the most profound things that I've learned is ask how this serves me. I ask it often. Alright, so let's say I move on to the, this is a good one. Everybody here in a relationship?
Yeah.
Anybody here ever been in a relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you know what those are like, right? So we can agree that spousal support is very important, right? This is almost non-negotiable. There's a book called it's The Millionaire Mind, and it was written by the same person who wrote The Millionaire Next Door, right? So The Millionaire Mind is talking about decamillionaires. This is next level, right? Millionaire Next Door, millionaires, a typical millionaire in America, how they look, how they live, how they act. And then The Millionaire Mind was decamillionaires, how they live, how they act, what they look like, what they drive, what their common businesses are, what their practices are. And then they had a list of what the top 5 things they thought was necessary to becoming a decamillionaire. And did you know, number 3 was a supportive spouse. Would you think that that's on the list, right? If you're like, there's 5, it's a 5 thing, right? And number 3 is supportive spouse. Well, what are the other 4, right? Like, literally the other 4 make sense. It's determination, it's motivation, it's hard work, and location. Very important, right? But a supportive spouse was non-negotiable. Everybody agreed. Non-negotiable, right? And we all know in this business, if your spouse isn't on board, I mean, what are you doing, honey? Oh, it's 7 o'clock at night. I'm just going to go back out and do a showing. Or it's 8 o'clock at night and you're just like this. And like, can you pay attention to me? Like, I'm in the room, same room as you. Hi, you know, what's going on? Or you go out to dinner, and again, I gotta take this call. I know it's an important situation, but I gotta take this call, right? It's our anniversary. We're in Maui. What are you doing? This business takes a commitment, right? It takes a serious commitment, and it takes a serious commitment from the person who's most committed to you, right? The person who's most committed to you is now going to pay the price for your commitment to your business if you make it a price to pay. You can choose not to. You can choose to live a life that allows them to have their space and you have your space and supports and empowers your relationship. But it's very key that going into a new relationship or having a relationship already and then coming into this industry, which a lot of people do, you have a conversation and you let them know. And this is not a one-time conversation, this is weekly, right? This could be nightly, where you let them know this is what it's going to be. Full disclosure, right? We're real estate agents. Full disclosure is part of our process. Just so you know what you're buying here. Just so you know what we're transferring into here, right? It could be a situation where maybe there's long hours. Maybe I'm a little stressed out because I don't know what this person is saying to me when they say, I don't like this house, I want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, that's $250,000, but this house is in bad condition and I don't like it. And you're like, well, this is a $250,000 house, this 3-bedroom, 2-bath is the nicest thing I could find in your price range. Well, that stress is going to bother you and you're going to take it home with you, you're not going to figure it out, and your spouse is going to be like, well, I'm a nurse, or I work in accounting all day, so I don't know what you're talking about. Why is this an issue, right? Just show them what they want, or buy, right? And that's the insanity that comes with this business. It's not just we work crazy hours, we're obsessed with our phones, we're suddenly the king and queen of social media. You know, everybody's seeing us, so we're saying, oh, who do they think they are? And your spouse is like, yeah, who do you think you are? Why you want everybody's attention? Why is it so attention hungry right now? Or you didn't used to be that way. I know. Well, I didn't used to have to care if somebody knew what I did. I didn't used to have to care about other people's feelings so much. I just showed up, plugged myself into the job. Tony Robbins has a funny thing he says. He says, we're all working on boxes, right? So you live in your box life, you live in your box house, you pick up your box phone, and you operate on your box phone all day, and then you jump in your box car, and you go to your box job, and you eat your box lunch, and then when you're done with your box lunch, you go back in your box phone, and you sit at a computer, which is a box, and you talk about your box things on a box, and you move the box around. Then you get back home and you jump on another box with a train, or maybe it's a plane or car. You get back home from the box on into your next box at your house. Then you sit down again, you eat another box, put it into the box to cook the box, and then you pull the box out and you consume the box. And then maybe you go for a cylinder to cool yourself down, right? And that's one of the realities. We're all living in these boxes, you know? So having your spouse aware that the life that you're about to live is no longer quite boxy, that maybe a little more cylinders involved. Right now we're networking. We got it. Drinking's what we do, honey. This is part of the game. The lender says this is what it is, and they all want to buy me lunch. You know? You wouldn't believe it. I got another call today. It was a lender. He wants to take me out. He says he's got these great products for my clients. He's got some really good information for me. He's going to help me build a system. He's going to help me bring in more clients, more leads. And there's all these tumbling through, right? Especially when you're new. And even when you're experienced, it's hard to manage all of that. It's about communication. You know, right? Anybody will tell you it's about communication, and you can communicate all day, and it can be garbage communication, right? You can be throwing garbage back and forth at each other all day. So it's quality of the communication. It's going back to the basics, going back to the principles of detach yourself from the outcome. Either way, this is my spouse. Either way, it's going to work, right? Just doesn't matter, how I get there. Law of attraction, I'm bringing in functional relationship, love, desire, concern. Detaching how I get there, right? It does not matter. It may be a different path. And then asking, how does this thought serve me right now? How does this thought serve my spouse right now? Because I'll still be here in the end, and I want to make sure they're served too. And then making sure that they do support you. Well, some people are just not naturally supportive, right? Is that fair to say that it's a belief system that some people are not supportive?
Yes.
I would question that belief system. I would absolutely question that, because I believe truly deep down everybody wants to support somebody else. But we've perceived and we've seen people who looked like they didn't want to support somebody, when in reality we were just not giving them the tools to support us with, or the sufficient motivation to do so. Sometimes people need to feel a great deal of pain before they're sufficiently motivated to do something, right? Before they're like, oh yeah, I guess I should become a supportive spouse. This real estate in here is stressed out, and they might bounce on me. And man, their social media feed is so big, they could go into all these different options, and that creates jealousy and fear and concern and greed and all sorts of negative emotions. We have to understand what we're putting our relationships into, right? We have to have a gain on the other side of this. They have to feel that there's some sort of positive and gain to it.
Or when you get paid.
Well, the pay is not always enough. But I agree with you. It is a gain.
When you get that check.
It is, but sometimes those checks are 3 months away. That's a long time to go without a gain. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of pain for that gain. Now, we're okay with it. But remember, our spouses were attracted to us most times, not because they're the same. most times they're attracted to us because they're a little bit different, right? We're IS, we're high energy, spontaneous, out there, do it, take action. And our spouses are probably more, you do all that crazy stuff, I'm gonna, keep an eye on the home, I'm gonna do the paperwork, or I'm gonna go do things that matter, right? In their head, things that matter. And you're the, hey, well, this matters. Just remember, it's two different sides of the spectrum. So in order to do this in the right way, we have to take our energy to a different place, right? We have to come from a place of detachment, asking if it serves us, right? Not just me, how does it serve us? And then how does it serve me? Because if it doesn't serve you, you will not do it. Right, so the serve me has to also serve us. It's a combination. But if it doesn't serve you, you just won't do it. Right? Eventually, you'll snap and you'll blame them. When in reality, you set up the rules in the first place. You don't have to show a house at 7 o'clock at night every day of the week. You can pick one day of the week that you do that. You can say, look, my night showings, they're Wednesdays. I do Wednesdays. That's it. Wednesday nights. If somebody asks for a showing any other day of the week, my spouse comes first. Hey, you know what? I understand that you want to show that house. I want to show it to you too. Let's do, maybe you just pick one day on the week and you work. You don't have to work both days on the weekend. That is a fallacy. That's an insanity that agents built up. I've closed dozens, hundreds of houses. In one month, most I ever closed in 1 month by myself, before the team, before all this, 5 houses, right? I had 17 under agreement at a time. I took every Sunday off. Sunday's my day. I don't care, right? And then I was hitting the gym every day. You guys remember I used to hit the gym 2-4 hours at a time because I was obsessed. It's just the nature of obsession, right? I was also obsessed with success and getting the job done and making sure my clients were taken care of. And during those times, I had a great supportive spouse. Like, she was cool with it. Like, she was 100% fine with it. Because I learned, she learned me, right? It's like, this is ridiculous. I don't know why you're showing the same house 3 times in a week, right? Just adjust it all to one day. Why don't you show them all at once? And in my head, I'm like, that's not how it works. Wait, maybe it is how it works. When you start talking to top agents, yeah, they're showing that house once a week. MLS requirements is once every 7 days, right? If you're not showing within 7 days, MLS can hound you and take the listing down. But that's a requirement, right? So yes, once a week we show the house. Anything beyond that is now excessive. It's now like, okay, well, where'd our 10 hours of work time go? We wasted some of it. We just burned it because we didn't know any better. We didn't put our relationship first, right? We didn't put our health first. We didn't put our money first because we just burn money. We burn time, we burn money, right? So those, like having those elements. So how do we get a supportive spouse? What do the conversations look like? How do we get to the point where it's easy for them to be like, I love real estate. I love that my spouse is in real estate. This is the greatest thing on the planet, right? Think of the benefits, right? The benefits are, you can go anywhere and people know you. If your spouse doesn't like that, that's not a benefit. It's benefit to you, not to them. Remember who they are. If to them, they want to be able to go to a movie with you and spend quiet time in Tuesday nights or Friday nights, that's their thing, they want to do it with you, build a business that lets them have that with you, right? Make sure that on Friday nights, one of my early mentors, Jim Baptista, he used to say, look, Friday night's my night. I was his client, and he was like, don't call me on Friday, bro. Like,
So Friday night, don't call me.
yeah, after 5, he's like, after 5, that's family time,
Yeah.
right? You cannot contact me, I'm back on the clock Saturday. But after 5, it's unreachable, you know? Leave a message, please. Text me, absolutely, I'll get back to you, I promise. I care about you. But I have time with my wife. It's a commitment I've made to my spouse, right? How much more does your client respect you for that? How much more do they, oh wow, he's a family man or a family woman. Like, they care about their family, they got their children, like, this is important to them. They like you more, right? I completely understand, I completely get it. You're allowed to do that, you're allowed to set those rules. It starts with controlling the business before you even have a conversation with your spouse. Ask them, what would you like out of this? And listen, not what you would like, what would they like out of this? And then you move forward with, okay, how do I produce that? And the most powerful question to ask is, how do I do it? How do I do this? There is a way to do it in real estate. It's literally the most flexible job that you possibly could have. Make sure that you're finding that question in your head all the time. How do I do this? How do I do this? How do I get there? How do I make it happen? How do I please both them and me and our clients and the lenders and the attorneys and the appraisers and the inspectors and everybody involved? How do I make sure that everybody's happy in the end? Focusing on that question will give you massive results. So, supportive spouse. One of the other keys is making sure that you make time for them. Make sure that you make time to be away from them when they're doing their things. Work while they're working. It's very valuable. And in some cases, give them their free time. Don't be around all the time. If your spouse sees you at the house all the time, they're going to start wondering what's going on. Get out of the house, right? Get out of the house. Like, don't be there. Be at the office. Get to Starbucks. Get to your car. Like, just don't be in the house. Make sure they know you're doing something, right? Unless you've gotten to the point where your business, where you're making a ton of money, you're super successful, and you're ready to retire, then you can be at the house all the time. But until the day that you're like, yeah, I'm a retired realtor, you don't belong in the house, right? You belong out meeting people. You belong out doing business. Be seen. Be showing results, right? You want your spouse to be happy? Show them you made 30 calls. You know, show them when you left the house today, 30 calls were made. You got home, you've got listing appointments, listing agreements, things written up, you're putting listings in, or you're shopping buyers, you've got proof that you've done things. Now you're winning. All the activity on Facebook, all the activity, out and about doing things has to close, has to become something, right? If it doesnn't become something tangible, your spouse will be like, what are you doing with all this time? Well, look at what I'm building. Give them the math. This is how long a transaction takes. This is the process to meeting people. And this is how many people I'm committed to meeting every day to make sure that I get to this many transactions, to make sure that I get to this much dollar amounts for us every year, right? When you can break down the math, and they can ask you, hey, did you make those 30 calls? And you say yes, champion, right? When you say no, they know what's going on now, right? They know something isn't right. They know something's not working. They can now support you. Allow them to be supportive. Right? Allow them a position. Don't have this fear of, oh, if I tell them and then they see that I'm not doing it, now they're going to think I'm a failure. Yeah, right. You need that. You need that to be like, you're not doing the things you're committed to. You're not doing the things that it takes to be successful in this. And so I'm here with you to say, yeah, do it. Right? Well, why? Well, how do you expect to be successful? Like, yeah, let them light the fire, because we work from a place of pain. Right? We all talk about we do it for the money. We do it for the paycheck at the end. We don't. We do it so people love us. That's why we do it. We really just want people's respect and love, right? We don't do it for the money. Do we have to pay our bills? Yeah. But we can pay our bills any way possible. It just is what it is. We do it because we want the people around us happy. And so if we put them in a position of pain, we move faster. We make the calls. We get more aggressive. It's just how we operate. That time, huh?
I have to leave.
So, valuable?
This is always very, it always motivates.
I love getting to the high level stuff, because this is stuff you can action. You can take this with you, the serve,
Yep.
the supportive spouse, and it's tough for you because Norman's in the same business. But you be the one that gets him going.
I know, I need to do that.
That's it.
But I need a push too, and that's why I come to this.
That's why,
because
we'll push
I
you.
need to hear this. Good tap, Dad.
All right, Zach, that is all set.